So just a little bit more, and maybe not. There we go. You know, you eliminate the potatoes and you can have this with pasta or rice. See, now that's creamy enough. Notice? Good. Now we'll add the fresh parsley to that. Not as much for taste, but as for appearance. A good 2 tablespoons of fresh, unsqueezed, washed, chopped, and don't squeeze it. Squeeze all of the flavor out of it. Now if you want to pick the bay leaf out, you can. Okay, now we're going to put it into the dish. You know, and for those that say, oh, look at this guy, he's using wondra. How come he's not making a roux? Well, guess what? What is a roux? Fat and flour. So don't we have enough fat in there? And there's the flour. So the dish I have is shallow, and hopefully I think it's going to hold everything. So just let's pour it in. Yep. And you know what? Just let that settle. And the cream will work its way. Actually, I couldn't have found a more perfect dish for this. Now I'll try and lean it a little. Well, we don't have to lean it, we'll just move the sauce over. You know, it's just the right amount of sauce. Nice guesswork. Now the cheese, you use whatever cheese you like. If you like to use sharp cheddar, you want to put mozzarella, you can put anything you want. You can put sliced over it, or you can put, like I said, the shredded. So I'm using if I can open the package. Just Wisconsin sharp white cheddar. So how much you're going to put? Just keep adding it until you don't see what's underneath. Then you know you put the right amount. Because when it comes to putting cheese, you can never put too much. Don't do this over the stove like me. You'll probably get it all over. I shouldn't be doing this here either. Well, I'll tell you how much of this is left after I get done. It's about half of the package. And the package was 8 ounces. That's 4 ounces. Give it a little bit more. I can see some carrots over there. Okay. As soon as the oven reaches its temperature, it goes in. You know, I have some scallions left over from a previous recipe, so we're just going to put some on the top. And we'll see how they look if they're in that hot oven. Most people would say, put it under the cheese. Sure, but you know what? You find out what things look like when you experiment. Well, let's talk about this casserole for a second. You know what? You can make this, let's say it's the day before. Wrap it up in saran wrap, put it in the refrigerator. Now, when you come and put it in the oven, you're not going to do 500 degrees like I am. You're going to put it in there about 350 for for about 15-20 minutes until it's just hot. So you don't have to do everything in the last minute. Well, the oven's been preheated, so we're going to put it in there, and I'm guessing 5 minutes. We'll set the timer. So it's been 5 minutes, and that's just enough. Look at that baby bubbling. You know, I try to cook healthy, but there are times when you just got to go the other route. So I'm looking around to see what I had laying around. I found some sausage, had some potatoes. I'm going to put these together. Heavy cream and half left over in the refrigerator. So it's going to be a casserole with sausage, potatoes, and cream and cheese over it. And we're going to bake it in the oven after everything is cooked. And I always like using thyme when it comes to like with potatoes and sausage and cream. A couple of bay leaves, fresh carrot, onion, red pepper, and of course I can't cook without garlic. So let's put this together. I'm going to do two things to start off. We're going to brown the sausage. Actually, we're going to cook the sausage. So let that cook. And I'm going to do something with the potatoes and the carrots. I'm going to partially steam them. Some people might think, why are you wasting the time? Well, I don't like standing over the cream while I'm cooking this stuff and having to be careful that it's not sticking. So if I kind of cook the potatoes almost all the way, which they cook very quickly in a steamer with the carrots, then we'll put the rest together, and it's fairly simple. So cooking the sausage with a lid on serves two purposes. One is keep the grease off the stove, and it quickens the cooking, keeping all the heat in the pan instead of escaping. And it browns it the same as if there was no lid. So those who say, well, you're steaming it, well, might be steaming, but there's nice color on that sausage. And then we come over here and we take a look at the carrots and the potatoes. It's only been a few minutes, but you know what? First off, when you steam, you're not losing any of the nutritional value that's there. And it kind of quickens the process also, like I mentioned. So we'll wait a few more minutes and then we should be ready to put the rest of it together. This doesn't take long. So now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to remove the carrots and the potatoes. As you see, I could just about stick that and lift it up. That means that it's kind of firm. But I don't want to overcook them here and have too many broken pieces when I cook it with the cream. So that'll take care of that part. That didn't take long. I don't know, about 10 minutes. And like I said, I could cook that with the cream, but you have to watch it more. So now I have to watch it less by doing it like this. And the sausage, as long as they're firm, I can slice them. I'm going to have sliced potatoes, sliced sausage in there. So I'll leave the lid on, shut it off, and that's done. And I'll just remove the potatoes and carrots now. So how are you going to slice the sausage? Straight across? No. Make it look better. Most things that are cut on an angle just look better. And these are almost 100% cooked. And they're still hot. So you cut all the sausage up like that. That's done. We're going to saute the vegetables over there in a minute. So we're going to saute the vegetables in the same pan that we just did the sausage. So there's enough grease in there, fat. You don't have to add anything. So in go the peppers and the garlic and the thyme and the bay leaves. And we'll just sweat that up for a second. If you want to make everything, if you want to have this with color, that's fine. Cover it, it'll cook faster. Won't have to stir it as much. Then we're going to get the cream ready, and the potatoes, and the carrots, and the sausage. Everything's going to go in there, and we're going to simmer it. And when the potatoes are done, of course the sausage will be done already. So we'll let this cook for about 5 minutes. Well, that's 5 minutes if you want to brown them, but I'm not interested in that. I just want to sweat them up a little. I love the taste, the aroma of the thyme. This is not fresh thyme, but you know what? The place that I go that sells the herbs also ships the item. And whenever I buy something in there, the dry herbs, they're so aromatic. I won't say it's as good as using fresh, but they're excellent. Where in the supermarket sometimes, you really don't know how long it was sitting in the warehouse and then it was shipped to the store. You're not sure. So if you can find a place that specializes in shipping of herbs, dry herbs, go there. Okay, this is good enough for me. Nice. So, we're going to add the potatoes and the carrots and the sausage. And then we're going to measure out the amount of cream that we need to make this work. So I'm going to start off with finishing up the heavy cream that I have. Well, that's perfect. So that's 1 cup of heavy cream. And the half and half, of course this is going to reduce, so the half and half I have is, you know, that should be, I think that might make it. So that's 1 and 1. Now we'll mix this. And I'm going to add salt now, and pepper. Now if you want to just use black pepper, white pepper, or black pepper, whatever you like, that's fine. But I am going to put in some cayenne pepper. That's the way I like it. Well, I put the pepper and salt in there. My wife may not enjoy it as much as me. It's a little hot. So we're going to, now that it's boiled, we'll just simmer it until the potatoes are done. And then we're going to transfer this into a casserole. Put the cheese all over and throw it in an extremely hot oven, because since everything is cooked, all we want to do is melt the cheese and maybe get a little color on top. No reason to cook it any further. Well, everything is cooked. How long did that take? About, I don't know, 10 minutes. So I have a choice of either sprinkling a little of that wondra over it, or leaving it like that. So as we look at it, we see that it is a little loose. So I make it easier for you not to make a roux or not to have made a cream sauce prior. Just sprinkle a little wondra Doesn't take a lot. And gently mix it, and then just see what happens. As long as this has a little body and coats everything that's in there, that's all you have to add. And we're going to put this in a shallow, a little bit more shallow dish, because when we put the cheese on top, we want everyone to get the cheese. And if you go with a deep dish, someone is going to take all the cheese off the top and leave nothing for the next few people. That's good. I should have preheated the oven already, but I'm preheating it to 450. Well, the cheese is melted. We don't want brown because we want it soft. And the scallions still look good. And now I'll put some on a plate and see how it looks and tastes. Well, that looks good to me. See the sauce? Nice and shiny. I'm going to taste the carrot first because it's not as hot. I like the flavor. She'll love it when she gets home. I hope you enjoy this. Now, just looking at the amount. 3 hungry people. That should do it. Or 2 starving people.